After the ball is over, after this game is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 328. It is Saturday, October 20th, 2018, as we are recording. I know a lot of people are at Rhinebeck, so I wish we were there, but we couldn't go. We normally don't go to more than two anyway. No. But
I'm going to be counter knitting cultural and be like, I don't have absolutely no desire to be at Rhinebeck.
No, I don't either. I just hope everybody has fun. I love Maryland sheep and wool, and I love Shenandoah, and that's quite frankly is about all I can afford in a year. And I get kind of maxed out with it. I mean, I'm looking at my wall of yarn and bags and stuff like that, and I don't really need any more, I don't think, right now. Although Miss Babs is having a sale, I was like, I have to sit on my hands. Okay. Anyway, want to welcome all new and returning viewers. We're glad to have you with us here for the Fun in the Woman Cave. I am Marlicia, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
If you are new, we're glad to have you with us, and we hope that you see something you like and that you will join in all the camaraderie on the groups. And we hope you will, as I said, return. And if you are returning, we're glad to have you back. If you are in the shadows, lurking around, looking from the shadows, please feel free to come into the light and join the groups and join the, by groups I mean the Ravelry group and the YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, join there. You can just press the little subscribe button on your right and hit the little bell so you get notifications. That pushes us up so other people who are looking for podcasts can see that, if you want to do that. And the group itself is where all the fun stuff happens, all the chatter, all the prize giveaways, and all that kind of stuff. All right, what's in your mug?
I don't go first, you have more projects.
Just by one. Okay, in my Avengers mug, because somebody asked about Talia's DC mug, and if the Justice League mug was going to make an appearance, and so was the Marvel Avengers mug. So here's mine. And you can see Wolverine and Iron Man and Captain America and Hulk, Spider-Man and Thor. They're missing a couple of key people, but that's okay. Well, there's so many people in there.
Well, yeah, Avengers is a huge team.
This is my, this doesn't quite fit on my warmer. This is Plum Deluxe Tea, the Stargazer Camel Mott Chai, which I really, really love. It says, kick back and let this tea open your mind.
Did you say camel mott?
Caramel.
Oh, it sounded like you said camel.
I don't know, maybe I did. All organic mate, I'm not sure exactly how they say that, mate or mott tea. Cardamom.
It doesn't have an accent mark.
Yeah. Cardamom, ginger, orange peel, cloves, cinnamon, aniseed, natural spice, and caramel essence. Love, gratitude. Has caffeine. Okay, so that's Andy. This is one of my favorite teas of Andy's. It's a new one to me, and it almost knocked my hazelnut chocolate out. But it's really good. Do you want to taste some? It has a little caffeine in it.
I have a little caffeine in mine
too.
So because the podcast is the only time I have caffeine.
Okay, so let me just turn this around for you. Be careful because it's really full. There you go.
Thanks. That's good.
You taste the cinnamon?
Yes, I can.
This is an excellent tea. I can't taste the caramel very much, but that may just be...
I could taste the caramel a little bit.
Can you? Let me taste it again. What do you have?
I have Plum Deluxe as well. And
I do taste the caramel. Go ahead.
This is Raspberry Cocoa Truffle Tea. Slow down and sip a cup of decadence. You deserve it. You've earned it. It's got puree tea, and I always mispronounce that. Ceylon tea, raspberries, orange peel, cocoa nibs, raspberry leaves, cornflowers, natural flavor essence, love and gratitude, and caffeine. So this is in my Justice League plus Robin mug. That's good.
I don't know if I have this one yet. I don't think I've tasted this one before. It smells good. It smells like raspberries or something.
Well, it has raspberry in it, so.
That is good, but I like this one better. This is a little milder because I have that cinnamon kick. It's very, actually, oh, that's really good. I can taste the chocolate and the raspberry. You know how you have those chocolates that come in the boxes where it's like a dark chocolate with the raspberry? That's what it tastes like. Okay. So, do you have anything to say before we move into our whips?
Sorry for if I'm a little muted today.
She's having a little bit of a thing.
Not
a flare.
No, not really even a flare. It's just I was stupid. Daredevil season 3 came out.
She
last
stayed
night,
up too late,
and because I used to be able to, and
it's really hard to let go of what you used to be able to do. I told her she should go to bed. She said she would. She didn't.
Well, I did eventually, just not right then.
Well, yes, but not when I told you to go to bed because you had to do things. The problem is that with anything like this is you have to learn that you have limits, that your limits have changed. I'm sorry. That your limits have changed, and it's hard to let go of that. So she's finding her way into what her limits are, and I have a feeling she's going to have a lot of these kind of things for a while because she's an oboe head. Yeah, yourself. Okay, so we're gonna.
I still didn't get to finish Daredevil season 3 just like I wanted to.
You don't have to binge watch. It's gonna be there.
But I wanted to finish it.
And now it'll be gone.
No, it won't.
Just do one at a time.
But
parental lock.
Can't parental
That's
lock
what you
on my
need.
Netflix.
That's what you need. A parental lock because you are incapable of exercising self-control. Oh, don't give me that look. Miss, I bought the teapot regardless. You were supposed to wait.
Well, the microwave at work didn't heat up the water.
You were supposed to wait.
It didn't heat up the water enough, and then I had to stand there and wait for it as takeaway from work time.
You had supposed to wait.
I needed it.
You wanted it.
No, I needed it.
You wanted it.
I couldn't tell if it was boiling or not in their microwave.
You wanted it.
I needed it.
You wanted it.
Needed it.
All right. Let's go into what's going on in the other groups. Now, as I've mentioned the last few times, and I will continue to mention for the next few times because this is new, I'm not going to give a detailed synopsis of what the Cal-Cals are that we're going through, just what the groups are and what the Cal-Cal is, maybe a little bit of a description, but not rules or anything. You can go to their groups for that. And if we are talking about it, you can assume that we like the group, we like the people involved, and we think that you might like it as well. Okay, it's not saying that you will, but that we think you will. Okay, okay. The first one is the Ready Set Christmas 2018 and the 18 Toys in 2018. These are Cal-Cals that are in the Bee's Knees group. That's Studio Von Design. That's our own Vonnie, one of our moderators, and it's in her. Like I said,
Did you post that picture for Vonnie?
Not yet, because it's on my camera on my phone. I don't know how to do that yet. You have to show me later. Vonnie, you'll see it later. Anyway, these are in the Bee's Knees group, and they're exactly what they say. One is Christmas and one is toys, and the rules are in her group. It is not a podcast group, but it's a lot of fun to be there, and I wish I could be more active than I am because it's a lot of fun. The Harry Potter Cal-Cal is the Victorian Studio Podcast. That's Maureen. She's the lady who is doing the co-hosting the Toy Along with us this year again. And it's a lot of fun. It's a year long. It's her second annual. The rules are in her group. She's a really fun podcast to watch. She's very informative, and she's very accessible if you have questions. So just check out the rules in her group. Crocheting Hoovian has 3 Cal-Cals going on. The Family Movie Night Cal-Cal, which is similar to our Tea and Tales, and the Year of Socks Cal-Cal, which is exactly what it says. And then she has something about stripes, but you have to be involved with her group. And I forget the name of the other group, but it's Army Wife Knit Life. I'm sorry, Jessica, I can't remember the the way it is on Ravelry as opposed to Instagram. Anyway, her group, you have to remember both their groups and both their YouTube channels in order to participate, and that's striping stuff. So the Family Movie Night Cal, Year of Socks Cal, and then the Stripey Cal, and those are all a lot of fun. I love Laura; she's a wonderful podcaster. I have not yet watched more than one podcast of Jessica's. I'm trying to catch up on people, so she's fun to watch. When I've watched her, I've enjoyed her. She's a lot of fun. So, and then in Heidi, that's Undead Yarn. She's having the Shorty Socks Cal, exactly what it says. Only she has expanded it to socks in general, and the rules are in her group. A lot of fun to watch. The 2018 Tracking Stash is Deb's Destiny and Blue Yarn Always, and that's a fun podcast. When they are a little more inconsistent than they used to be, but when they do podcasts, they're a lot of fun to watch. Deb's Destiny has an Etsy shop. She has a Ravelry shop for her patterns, and she has given us patterns as giveaways in the past. They're very nice. She's very sweet. And Sheila, Blue Yarn Always, is her group is her Etsy shop is Never Enough Bags. And she has also been very generous with our podcast. So you might want to check that out. And I know Brittany, who is B-Wing, has a couple of Cals going on. I think, I'm sorry, Brittany, you might have to correct me. She has one 2018, 18 hats in 2018. And I think she's doing something with dishcloth still. I could have sworn somebody said she had socks, too. I think that was Laura. I'm sorry, Brittany, I'm a little behind on what you have going on, but she does have things in her group. The Comforting Crafts group is very charity-oriented, not a podcast group, but a lot of fun to be a part of. Another one I wish I could be more active in. Okay, so that leads us into ours. The PHNT and Tails is heading into the home stretch. It is anything related to tea and or tails. It's a year long, so it goes until the January 1st. We will pull early the wee hours of January 1st or thereabouts. This quarter is a special quarter because not only is it the last prizes of the year for that, but it's also the big prize. The last prize will only be for the last quarter. So from the first post of November through, is that right? No, October, November, and December. The first post of October through the end of December will be eligible for the quarter prizes. But every post except the opening post, I think it's one or two posts, are eligible for the big prize. Okay, so get those things in there because it's nice prizes on the offer there. So it's one whip per project per week. The FO whenever it's finished. Anything related to tea and or tails, we do have featured patterns. They are in the group. We have featured yarns, again, in the group. And I can just do a quick rundown. I'm not going to say whether knit or crochet. My yarn, as always, Ty's patterns, as always. Mom Cook, which is loom knit patterns, and who does the Joanna Johnson, who does
Diana's hat,
knit, Diana's hat, and all that kind of stuff. She does knit. And Crocheting Whovians patterns, and we did add, it was an oversight, and it should have been added a long time ago, so I do apologize to Vani. She has a little stuffed, I'm sorry, that's for the toy long.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but if you can make it, if you can make it relate to tea and our tails, that can be also, okay. All right. Moving on. Chatter and pictures go on the same thread. Okay. So you can just check to see, as long as they're related to tea and or tails, who are the featured patterns. You know that if you use a featured pattern with the featured yarn, which is my yarn, it will be eligible for 3 chances at a prize. And I think I forgot Laura with her Hufflepuff and all that. So, Laura's always a featured pattern anyway, if you can make it fit. The toy along has started. As I said, it's been, what, 2 weeks? Almost 3 weeks.
October.
Almost 3 weeks. And it is, as we said before, the rules are the same. And we have a lovely co-host, that's Maureen, Victorian Studio, and her rules are a little different. I think she's pulling prizes every month. We are pulling prizes at the end of the whole along. And you can look and see what we've got featured patterns, which are, of course, Taya's patterns, Vani's Bee, and Laura's Hufflepuff. And with my yarn, you have 3 chances at a prize. for the marriage of, if you just use my yarn with somebody else's pattern, it's 2 chances. Okay. Knitted, loom, knit, or crochet. Okay, I already said all that. I'm not going to say that again. Hee hee. Okay. We do have a bundle of patterns that I think Valeria put up, and there are some suggested patterns also in the Toy Along thread.
This is where you want to mention Bonnie's pattern being featured.
I did.
You did?
But I will mention it again. Bonnie's Bee, Eric the Bee, I think is what it's called.
Is he an Alphabee?
Is he a what?
An Alphabee.
An Alphabee? What's an Alphabee?
Eric the Alphabee.
I'm sorry, I must be tired. I'm not getting it. Eric the Alphabee? What?
Half a bee.
Oh, half a bee. Okay, gotcha. Okay, no, he's a whole bee. At least last time I looked, it was a whole bee. Anyway, Bonnie's Bee is eligible for 2 chances of prize if you finish it, as is Laura's Hufflepuff. And of course, Taya's patterns. Okay, I guess I go first.
You do.
Let me just get this little sip of tea. Sizzle. Our big cups don't fit really well on these warmers, so we have to be really careful. Oh, before I go into the whips, we did receive a package, and I meant to say something to you, Wombat of Doom. She sent a nice little... No, this is Wendy's.
Yeah,
This is
we already showed...
We already showed Wombat of Doom. Wendy, I meant to contact you to say I received this. I'm sorry, I got really busy. We've had issues with cars and switching vehicles and having to do this, that, and the other thing, and time got away from me. No real excuse, but I want to thank you for sending this. Beautiful hat for my friend's daughter. And I know we have a few more coming, but we're going to send these off first, and we'll send hers off in a second package. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's beautiful.
Wendy, is this a self-striping yarn, or did you stripe it? Because the stripes are really even. Isn't that gorgeous?
That's really pretty.
And it's very nice. I'm sure that my friend's daughter would really like this. It's pretty.
It is pretty.
So we'll put this in here. And she did put the tag in here, so she'll know how to wash it.
That's good.
So that's good. Most of the people did that, so, which I always forget to do.
Me too.
So that's that. Thank you very much. Now, going on, I don't remember what Wendy's Rab name is. I hope she sees this. I might have to write her a traditional thank you note to make sure she gets it.
Right.
Maybe I have it on my Ravelry.
Well, one of us might actually have a message from
In the
her when
inbox,
she asked
yeah.
after the address, because
I don't always have the names. If somebody doesn't do like Patty does with Wombat of Doom, 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 I forget who some of the people are because I don't have a lot of contact with them. But I do appreciate their generosity, and I appreciate them very much. Okay.
I guess it's me now.
I haven't done one yet.
Oh, you haven't done one yet?
No, that was just the,
I wasn't paying attention.
You never do. No, you look a little flushed today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In my Kikiboo... No. Yes, in my Kikiboo Owls bag. This is the medium bag by Denise. I don't know if she's making bags anymore, but you can see my owls and my Christmas stuff. And it's just about the right season for it. Not that I let the season dictate when I use this bag. I didn't do a whole lot on this. I thought I would be finished with this, but I didn't. So that's all I have to say about that. It's not done, but it's almost done. Looks like a little sleeve. See?
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
It's a nice warm sleeve. Maybe she just makes sleeves. Anyway, it's a baby hat. So, and this is the teal colorway, and the yarn is was it yarn? It's Yarn Bee yarn in the teal colorway. So this will be done. I hope this will be done by the end of today, maybe. I don't know. We have a lot to do today. I'm hoping that I have some FOs to show you next week.
Part of me is like, I want the car to be done so we can pick it up. Another part of me is like, I really don't want to budge from the house.
Yeah, I understand that. And we have to go out to Winchester today anyway.
I don't.
You don't, but I'm saying we do. If we don't hear from it at a certain time,
Yeah.
it's going to be too late anyway. The problem with Monday is the obvious problem.
Yeah.
But if it has to be done, we'll do it. You know.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, sweetheart.
Okay, so hopefully I finished the row on this because I don't always remember to do that anymore. I try to have my rows finished before Saturday,
showing?
but in my Silver Shed USA Kitties in the News bag is the Spanish Lady. It's the Spanish Lady shawl, which is the On the Floor shawl by Simone Carite. And it's made out of Miss Babs Yowza in the colorway Obsidian, Lads, and Slate? No,
Pewter.
Pewter.
Just remember with a little bit of purplish kind of tinge to it is pewter. That's really pretty, Ty.
Thank you. So, I think I probably got like a row or two done on this at some point. Probably on Sunday, after last podcast. Because I
Right.
didn't work on it during the week, I don't think.
I don't remember you working on this during the week.
Yeah, I think I worked on it on Sunday. So there we go.
Very nice.
It gets, honestly, only gets a row here, a row there, because it is hard for me to get a lot of knitting, and I only get some here or there.
Yeah. You got enough. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA,
I look forward to eventually having this shawl to wear,
I'm sure,
because it's totally my colors.
Caterpillar bag is my Tangerine Dreams Preemie Baby hat. And this is another one that I thought would have been done today, but it's not, because it's not. So it will be soon. I think I've got about an inch or two left to go on this. And I'm using Knit Picks Bravo worsted, I believe, in the orange. I don't think it's any particular colorway, it's just orange. I lost the ball band. I just know it's Knit Picks. So that's that.
You were supposed to have more to talk about, because now let's see.
Sounds like YP, not MP.
It's all of our problems.
It is everybody's problem.
There, that's the quote.
Yes, it is. Reference.
In my... Is this bag? I think it is. Perhaps.
There it is. That's a reference.
Yes. In my Plover Bird Turtles bag, yeah, this is the right bag, is my Bonnie Blue Lass Cancer Diana's hat. And that's not the whole project name. It's Bonnie Blue Lass. And it's a Cancer hat, and the pattern is Diana's hat by Joanna Johnson. And
Do you know that you have your hook out?
yes, I do. I'm planning on starting a bunny leg.
Okay.
But you interrupted me, and so bunny leg did not get started.
It should be a turtle leg, not a bunny leg.
Well, actually, I do need to make a turtle for my office too,
A
because
turtle and an owl.
I need some bigger toys in my office.
You need an owl too.
I don't need an owl.
You do need an owl.
Nah.
You need an owl.
What I need is I need to make a bunch of my 4 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. No, not actually teenage, with your colorway
Oh,
for
right.
their shells.
Right.
I need to find some orange for Mikey's head and legs.
You gonna make Biddy?
Biddy, probably, yeah. Because otherwise I won't have enough room with all of them.
Well, I have to work on Donnie and Leo and Raph. Raph would probably be the easiest one to do next.
So, got some work on it. This is Flock Brazonas. And this is a cotton bamboo blend. And the colorway is Serenity.
It's really pretty.
It is really pretty.
Bonnie, did you check that out? I think it was Bonnie who asked me about that, about the flock personas.
So, and I'm out of my little things to put over it, so
Put over. Oh, your
my needle protector things.
the metal things.
So my
I need to get some of
Slip
those
Stitch
too.
Studio Star Trek Next Generation DPN holder is doing the trick.
Yeah, they work fairly well for that.
Yeah. As the project gets bigger, though, it's a little bit harder.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay, let's see here. I already showed you that.
and
You
this
might-
is actually fairly early on in Next Generation because Geordi hasn't gained the weight around his face that he
Yeah.
gets later on. And Wesley is still has that particular sweater vest there. And actually, I don't think Will has quite the weight he gets later on. You can't see Will as well, but and Data doesn't either. They're all still pretty slender in their faces.
And you may hear some noise in the background. I think my husband's moving around a little bit. We got kind of a late start this morning, but so I just warn you in advance that we may have some noise. Okay. In my Silver Shed USA Lady Fernico PHN bag is Miss Peppermint Kitty Cat from the Brat the Kitten pattern by Talia. And I'm using an E-hook, an Old Time Yarns Polworth DK. I think this is, Kitty has 9 lives. Let me see. This cat's got 9 lives is the colorway. It's a DK weight. And Nitpicks is the green and the black. So, I almost finished the head. I did a little bit of work on this because it was easier on my hands. So I finished the eyes and I'm starting the decreases. I was hoping to get a little more done on this, but I'm happy with what I got done. That's that.
Well, at least it'll be easier now that you're done.
Oh, yeah, no color work, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the yarn. Isn't that pretty? I'm not usually a speckle person, but I saw this. I was like, oh, I hope this is the one I got.
I was really delighted that was not the one I got because I'm not into speckles, particularly not that much white.
Yeah, I'm not usually, but
Well, you said kitty cat as soon as you saw
yeah,
it.
surprising I said kitty cat instead of owl.
Yeah, and then you kept trying to talk yourself into an owl, but you really wanted it to be a kitty cat. And then you saw the color name.
Yeah.
So even before she knew this cat had 9 lives, she wanted it to be a kitty cat.
Miss Peppermint Kitty Cat says, how could it possibly be anything else? All right, your turn.
So I'm going to jump a little bit ahead and talk about the one I'm working on now. My office allows me to decorate, so my plan is to decorate with toys. And I currently have moved the bunnies that I couldn't quite bear to get rid of, but I kept putting in a box.
These need to go.
I thought about it, but
Or at least this one, because he's getting smushed.
I might have to take him with me. But then he won't be on the podcast anymore.
Well, we'll think about it.
And I can't cuddle him anymore. I'm not going to cuddle him in the office. It's weird.
I need to fix all the toys here because they're just falling all over the place.
So I thought about taking TMNB to work, but I think I'm going to leave him here.
Well, maybe the little one up there.
I thought about that too. Because came here when I was packing up my other bunnies, and I was looking through if I wanted to bring any of the ones I had over here. But, Anita the pink bunny, pumpkin spice latte. I think I just called him pumpkin actually. He's there, and then one that I have that's made. He's Rumpelstiltskin, I think, because he's made out of one of Heidi's yarns. It made me think of Rumpelstiltskin. It was that one colorway that had Rumple in it, or Rumpus, or
Rumpus. Wild
Rumpus, I think it was.
Yeah.
So those 3 are in my office, and the extra chameleon I have is on a potted plant, a fake plant.
I was wondering if that was real or fake. Yeah.
It was fake. Yeah. He's
I thought that's going to die if it's real.
No, he's climbing a fake plant. He's rather happy about that, even if he's not blending in very well.
He's he wants attention.
Yes. So, in that note, this is Nightwing the bunny, and he will eventually become an office bunny. My excuse to keep him. And I have long had the head finished.
He's a cute little baby bunny.
And I thought about bringing some of the stuffed non-knitted bunnies that Davina's given me, but then I wouldn't have necessarily space for more crafted ones. I would prefer to have the crafted ones.
Right.
And I don't want to look cluttery.
Yeah.
I'm going for a specific feel. So, thank you. So he's going to look kind of deflated bunny.
Still looks like a demented mushroom until you put the back end on. There you go.
Aww.
Now he doesn't look like a mushroom anymore.
Oops, sorry.
He's a bunny.
He is a bunny.
Oh, he's cute. Even without the nose and stuff, he's still cute.
And I'm currently making his first of his front legs.
What color are you going to use for the nose? The light blue?
No, I would use pink for his nose.
Oh, okay.
Because that's what I generally use for my bunny nose. The only time I changed it out was when I made the pink bunny.
Right. Well, you still could have used pink.
Well, it was a very bright pink. It was pink I normally use. Yes.
Was that Lady Diva or was it something else?
It was one for the kit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And it's a very small bunny because of that.
Yeah, because it was a...
it was almost a fingering.
Yeah,
right?
that long sport's almost a finger. It's a heavy fingering, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, is that all you have to say about that?
That's all I have to say about that.
Okay. In my Allegheny Fiber Arts owl bag, my Terra owl bag, that I got at Shenandoah Valley Fiber Festival this past time, is my Goldenrod project. This is the turban twist hat pattern by Burnett Design Studio, and I only did a little on this. And I know there's some mistakes in here, but I don't think people are going to see it because I'm going to be putting it together, so I'm not going to rip it back. But it looks really pretty. I think I have a mistake right here, but I don't think they're going to be able to see it when it's seamed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just have to be careful that I'm not doing this. I think I purled when I should have knitted. It's the only place I can see that I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm just going to be careful not to do it anymore because unless somebody's looking up really close like this, I don't think they're going to see it.
Right.
So, and my hands just don't want me to go back and redo something if I don't have to.
Right.
So, and if it's too bad, I'll keep it.
Right.
You know, it's not my color, but, I don't, you know, but somebody will like it.
Right.
And I'm just using, I love this yarn. I think the color might be Goldenrod. Let me see.
The color is 3PO?
Maybe. Oh, it's Buttercup.
How do you build me up?
Yeah. Buttercup as in Wesley and Princess Bride.
Best man around.
Okay.
Worst of all,
Stop singing and do your thing. You oboe head.
I love you still, I need you. Anyone, darling, more than I have from the start.
Alright, stop.
I like that song.
No kidding.
So this is Little Skein in the Big Wool.
Mm.
My
like that
Velveteen
bag.
Rabbit bag. This
Well
is my
made.
purse knitting. And I like it for my purse knitting because it smushes down really nicely.
This is almost, it's just a really heavy, it's kind of a really sturdy cotton or something. And because this is one of your older bags. I got you this like the first Christmas or...
Yeah, I didn't realize how old it was.
It's old.
Um,
Because I remember I went back and looked. It's like very, you know,
looks like it got something on it at some point.
yeah. But it's, at least it's pink, so...
Yeah.
Unless
It's kind
maybe
of
the color
purplish
ran a
color.
little bit? Or?
No, I don't think it ran. It looks like a purple pen or something.
Yeah,
Maybe like I was working on a project and had my pen
yeah. And maybe you've got to...
cap it or whatever. But this is my Osiris Stethoscope Cozy. I explained last time why I called it Osiris.
Right.
And I worked on this a little bit during my orientation meeting and while waiting for introductions at my second meeting at
Right.
work. And this place workplace so far, no one said anything about me knitting during meetings, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Although, actually, one person did say something. He was kind of funny. One of the people on the board, he was a psychologist at one point. Seems to be a very smart man, very interesting individual. He sat there, like, quizzing everyone who was new before the meeting started, like, asking questions about either very philosophical questions or questions about how you would model proper learning techniques for avoiding habits such as returning to alcoholic situations, how you can help implement that change for good. And so he just brought up some very interesting conversations. But the first thing he said to me was, I used to hate people who came to meetings knitting.
Okay, then.
And then he went on to explain that he was in a, I guess, there was a case where there was there are points where they'll call psychologists in court cases, you know, for whatever,
right,
to examine, to give their professional opinion on the person that they're talking about. And I guess it was one of those things, because he said there was a lady on the jury who was knitting, and he was convinced there was no way she could be paying attention the entire time, older lady. And then he said when it came to her turn to ask questions, she asked the most detailed questions, like, and when you said this, like, so however many pages back, and and he was just like, he came to realize, oh, she's not just not paying attention, she's multitasking. So he has absolutely no problem with people knitting during things now. And apparently his wife is a knitter. So, as well.
I think it also depends on the person.
Yes, it does. He was sitting there trying to diagnose me because he asked if I had ADD. Because, well, it's like, well, I have always had the tendency to play with things. If, you know, when I used to be at restaurants, I was that person who took the straw wrapper and would
drove me absolutely insane.
Tear it into pieces and roll it into little balls and then unroll it and then roll it up again the entire time while I was talking.
Her ex-fiance, get your knitting out.
I forgot he did that.
You told me about it. I wasn't there.
I forgot he did that.
Yeah. Where's your knitting?
I must have been messing with something. I can't remember now.
I think you're messing just with a straw or something. Just,
yeah.
You know, it used to drive us insane.
So nothing diagnosable, but it was funny. The guy on the board, doctor on the board, was trying to diagnose me jokingly with ADD. I'm like, maybe some tendencies. It's constructive versus destructive this way. But I worked on this then. And my Loki one is happily hanging in my office. It might be a little while before that one comes off my stethoscope because I really like the colors.
And you don't have to wash it as often now.
Right. Honestly, the times I might change is less because I have to wash it, more because, oh, hey, I want a different color on my stethoscope today to match this outfit.
Well, you should probably have a scheduled washing just to keep
it
just the same.
I don't wear it as much, though, so it doesn't get as dirty either.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't... I only use it if I need to double check a blood pressure, if I don't quite trust the automatic machine for whatever reason.
Okay, my next one is a new project. It's Elementary, My Dear Watson. It's the Elementary wrap pattern by Pearl Soho. And I am using US 8 5mm ChiaoGoo red lace circular needles and Miss Babs Yowza What a Skein slate colorway.
And this one's actually slate.
This one is actually slate. Now, this is a very simple pattern, and I think I'm using a needle size bigger than I was supposed to because I didn't have 7s.
Mom, was Watson's scarf in the movie gray?
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't remember. No. In the movie, it was striped.
That's right. And this scarf color makes me think strongly, though, of the scarf. I know in some pictures it's blue, but in some it looks almost gray. And in my head, it makes me think of Sherlock's scarf in the show Sherlock.
And this is definitely for me, for the Tea and Tails, Sherlock Holmes. It's a free pattern, and I haven't gotten very far on
And
it.
who's it by?
I told him it was Pearl Soho.
Oh, did you? I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I know. So this, I didn't get a whole lot of work, but this is what I wanted to do. I'm only about 6 rows in, and it's supposed to stop curling.
I was too busy thinking about what I was going to say next.
You can see that it's basically stockinette. I don't know if you can see, it's still curling. I wanted it to be kind of lightweight.
It is curling a little bit.
Yeah, it's supposed to stop as I go.
Did you say it was a cowl or is it a scarf?
No, it's a stole is what it is.
Okay.
Because you can see.
So you're definitely gonna have to block it.
Look, you can see.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice length.
You know, so it's
because it might take care of that, just that little bit of chill.
This is meant to be my mom's.
Because look, it's about the same width except all throughout. It's something like this. Then I have it turned around the wrong way. If you go for the wide part, it's actually bigger. Mm-hmm. And this sometimes is just a nice... Yeah, it is wider.
Yeah, it's double.
And sometimes this even is just a nice weight on the shoulders to cover that little bit of chill. So that'll be really nice.
This was meant to be my mom's. I'll see if I finish it in a timely manner for that. But, and if I like this and I finish it in a timely manner, I may take the basic and do other things with it. Mm-hmm. Not for this one, but... you know, for another one. And like I said, I am a needle size, I think this is supposed to be a size 7 needles, and
you took what you had.
I took what I what I had. So, and it takes a fair amount of yarn, but I'm using a Yowza, so I should have plenty. Let me see, I'll tell you what it takes here. It's a very classic looking, and this is not the best picture, but it almost reminds me of a Rana, the wrap Rana. Not the kind that has a hole like a poncho. And I didn't put down what size needles. Yeah, US 7 is what I'm supposed to have, but I used US 8s. Because this is an off Ravelry pattern. So I have the whole big thing on my files, but I only wanted to print off the pattern, which is, you know, half a page. So, and I don't know if I mentioned my bag, but this is my Knitting's My bag. I call it my Monet bag, but it's a Sarah bag. And I also need to get something to make sure I don't lose my needles. Although this cord's long enough that I should be okay. Okay.
So, in my I guess it is time for my last one. Did that one? Yeah, it's time for my last one. I haven't worked out of this one in a while. I outed another project and used this bag. A project that I knew I wasn't going to finish. The Knitted Owl I had done.
That she was doing for me.
I really didn't like the way it was turning out. I must have misread the instructions, or I just don't like knitted toys.
Ty doesn't like knitted toys, and honestly, it was a beautiful knitted toy, but I don't want her working something that she doesn't like.
So I much prefer crochet toys. And I have a particular preference for my own crochet toys. Shocker.
Yeah, there's a shocker.
But this is a new project.
Who's the bag by?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I said that. This is by Maureen. Victorian Studio. I won this bag. And it's a really nice fabric.
She made, not only did she make the bag, she developed the fabric.
And it has bird names inside.
Yeah, she's very talented.
Yeah, she is. And the pattern is also by Pearl Soho. I had some yarn. A sweater's worth of yarn
I love that sweater.
I haven't used. I've had it for years.
I think you had it almost since the beginning.
I've had it a very long time. And I was just looking through my stash. I don't even know why I was looking through my stash. I just was. And I was just struck by the sudden desire just to have something to work on for a long time that was bigger, that required, for a little while, zero thought process.
Right.
So this is the Ridgeline Wrap Cardigan by Pearl Soho. It's bottom up with set-in sleeves.
What does that mean?
So you work it from here to this point, then you hold stitches down, here for
Oh, so
the
you don't have to
sleeve.
pick up, you just hold them. I mean, you pick them up, but they're already
Yeah,
they're already held.
It's been a long time since I've done set-in sleeves, but I'm pretty sure you hold the stitches for it, and then you complete your knitting for the body. Then you come back. Well, there's two ways to do it because I can't remember the way this one does it, and so I've only done a bottom up like once, or twice.
'Cause I would like to try that. It looks like it's all ribbing.
Because my cabled sweater that I just finished was a bottom up. I guess I've done several bottom up sweaters, actually. So I lied.
I think I've done all top downs, the two that I've done.
I think all my cabled sweaters are bottom up.
In fact, the baby sweaters I've done all top down.
And the red, I think my red sweater by what's her face? Who does like all the babies? Who does like sizes from baby
Tin
to
Can
adult?
Knits?
Tin Can Knits. That sweater had set-in sleeves, I believe, because you work the sleeves apart and then you attach them.
Oh, okay.
So I think you do pick up. I can't remember, but I think those are set-in sleeves. I can't remember. It's been a long time. Regardless, I'm calling this my snuggle sweater right now. But
Laura wants me to do a sweater, and this one looks like one maybe I might be interested in.
so it's very simple. It looks very comfy.
I love that style.
It's basically like wearing a big shawl.
It's the same
with
style.
sleeves.
It's the same style as this. I love this sweater. And with the, let's see if I can show you here. While she's finding her stuff. Same kind of open style.
And this is Cascade 220 in the colorway. Oh, I know the
Puget
color.
Sound.
Puget Sound. That's what I was looking for in my head. And I actually would be a lot farther if I had bothered to do a gauge swatch to begin with.
She doesn't do gauge swatches.
Actually, I used to always do gauge swatches for my sweaters. But I didn't feel like it, so I didn't. And then I realized I was terribly off gauge. Then I had to do a gauge swatch. And I measured, and I had to go down to needle sizes.
Did you have to do gauge in both pattern and out of pattern? Why is this?
They give you gauge to measure for stockinette and for
Okay.
ribbing, and I find ribbing harder to measure for gauge, so I measured off the stockinette.
Right.
And when I got it for the stockinette, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be
Right.
because the ribbing will stretch anyway.
The ribbing is the whole sweater, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
But the stockinette is the sleeves.
Oh, okay.
So, so yeah, I did a gauge swatch, and then I have this yarn if I need it to pull it into the sweater later. And it's basically a ribbed, loose sweater, and it's got a ton of stitches.
You twist it a little bit. There you go.
And it's going to look a little twisted because it's bunched on the needles. Even with the 60-inch cord, it's
Yeah.
bunched on the needles, just because it's a huge sweater.
Yeah, because it's an open sweater, so it's,
Yeah.
you know.
Because it's supposed to be really, really loose.
Yeah. That's just the style of the sweater.
It's a style of sweater. So, I mean, yeah, it's really loose. But you can tell that by looking at it.
But the flaps are supposed to hang,
Yeah.
forward.
So,
Are you doing the medium?
I am doing not the right pattern. The second size, and that is a, I think she says in the back. Now she does something interesting. It's not giving away anything in the pattern, where she has materials needed, gauge, and sizes in the back of the pattern. I think it's to force you to look through the pattern before you get started.
Yeah. I just go to the last page and look at the stuff.
But, let's see. Yeah, I called for US 6s. I think I'm using US 4s.
Oh, your gauge is quite a bit bigger then.
Well, I think part of it was the yarn she used was a light worsted. And this is a plain worsted.
Okay.
So, and I couldn't change yarns because this is the yarn that I had available in sweater weight.
Right.
And
You
all
could have
it,
checked my Miss Babs.
well, I was trying to get rid of this yarn.
Right.
I have a bunch of it. I'm trying to clear this out of stash. And I had enough yardage. So I just went down a couple of days. It'll just mean it'll be warmer. That's not a bad thing. I went for the to fit actual chest circumference of 34 to 37 because I'm about a 36, and it's the size when it's finished, because it's supposed to be positive ease, comes out to 38 and a half.
Okay.
So
Keep talking. I just want to see something.
yeah, there's not much more with that. This is just,
I think I would be between the two sizes.
you would be right here, 34.
Because I'm actually...
You could probably wear, well, you wouldn't want as low as a 34 and a half. So I think you would be the second size as well. It'd just be bigger on
be
you.
really big.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want it that big.
Well, what you would have to do is maybe do the lighter worsted.
Yeah. Oops. Here you go. Do you want this regular?
No, I don't want that there. Hold on. I want it open to the page I'm actually on.
Oh, okay. Are you finished with that?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. My last one is also a new one, and this is no pattern to this at all. I'm just kind of doing it out of my head. This is the Copper Penny Baby Hat. It's a crochet hat, and I'm using an F hook and stash yarn. I know what this is. I just can't think of the name. Homespun, Hometown, USA, something like that. So this is my Copper Penny Baby Hat, and I'm just going round and around right now. It's got the little, kind of a little pointy, little pointy. I put it on Jimena and it fits her. So
Excuse me.
hopefully this will be finished as well by next week, but I don't know. And this is in my Ploverbird Mickey Mouse bag. I missed Ploverbird, but yeah. So that's that. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, so that leads us on to dyeing.
Dyeing. I did do yarn dyeing, but one is hanging downstairs, and I have 2 skeins that were cooling overnight that I have to rinse. So I'm hoping I'll have some yarn to show you next week and maybe put in the shop. Right now I'm trying, they are all pretty much, well, let me think. The one downstairs is a one-off. The ones in the dye pot I can replicate, but I'm trying to get rid of my dye that I have in my my jars, my stock, before I start putting together new ones. But I do have some colorways in mind that I want to do. So it's been really hard for me to get any, I guess mojo is the word people use. I'm not really sure I understand what that means, but I just haven't really felt like doing it, so I haven't done a whole lot of it because of all the stuff that's been going on. So I'm starting to get back into it slowly as the schedule settles in, and I hope to be able to update the shop soon. The 2 that are in the bath over here are worsted weight. The one downstairs is a fingering sock. So I have to prepare. I have to prepare all that yarn I got recently. I have to start tying it and stuff so I can just pull when I want to dye yarn, and just dye yarn instead of having to prep it. So slowly but surely, you should be seeing an update relatively soon. Maybe in a week or 2, hopefully. We'll see. Don't hold me to it, but we'll see. Do you have any design news or anything like that?
Oh, heck no.
Okay.
I've had a hard time getting crafting in, let alone designing.
Right.
Those days might be behind me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more designing either right now until my hand really just settles down, but I'd like to try to do some more, but we'll see. Let's see, do you have any stash enhancements?
Nope. My biggest news is one that's, I guess it's kind of enhancement, but it's not really stash enhancement. It's I got a handicap placard for my car. It was time. I don't necessarily need it all the time, but unfortunately, I don't usually get much warning when symptoms are going to occur.
She could be perfectly fine when she walks into the building, but she might not be fine when she walks out.
Or I might be perfectly fine when I park, but when I get out of the car, I might have issues walking, which is what happened Monday.
Right.
I kind of felt a little odd, but sometimes that passes. When I got up in the morning, or not even when I got up in the morning, it was around rosary time before I headed to work. Started feeling a little off, but I kept trying to, tried to do deep breathing through it, tried to convince myself it was in my head, that I just needed to chill out, that kind of thing. And when I got to work, it felt like I was walking in slow motion, and walking through quicksand. Very lightheaded, very difficult to walk. I ended up using the cane all day. Apparently my color was terrible by the time I actually made it into work. And it was a difference of 5 minutes. 1 minute I was mostly okay. 5 minutes later, I was in the worst flare of a long time. And it took me about a day or two to recover from that.
Okay, and I'm not just playing on my phone. I'm trying to find my stash enhancement while she's talking.
But, and actually they can't see that you're on your phone.
Okay, well, they can see my head's down.
But that was the impetus I needed to get the handicapped placard, because I'm now working a job where I can still work because I won't be on my feet. I can work through most of my symptoms. Even if I feel and look awful, I can use the cane at work. And people do nice things like turn the elevator on for me, even though it's after 5 p.m. when they turn off the elevator, so I don't have to walk up the stairs to go to a meeting. So I realized I needed to do little things to make it so I could make it into work a little bit easier. Like have a handicap spot available to me so I wouldn't have that moment of dread of, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to walk across the whole parking lot if I can't find a space. Like if I have to go out for a work-related reason, then come back and someone took my parking spot. So, yeah, and we used it while grocery shopping this time, too.
Yep.
Because that's usually a problem.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so that's a thing now.
Yeah, we're glad that she has that. Now, my stash enhancement is not remotely having to do with knitting. Can you see this? Can you see the?
Actually, your stash enhancements are of the same. They're both automotive.
Yes,
related.
that's my car. It's a 2019 Forester. It came in. They delivered it Wednesday. My husband's car, his truck, promptly broke down on Monday, and he's been using my car. It's a better picture of it. Without
I think
me mucking up the
his
group.
truck was jealous of not all these new kids coming into town.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with my car. I've only driven it a couple times. I'm getting used to all the bells and whistles on it. But it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. And then this is what I was talking about for Vonnie, in case I can't figure out how to post this. This is not a stash enhancement, Vonnie. I was shopping with Talia yesterday. Can you see what that says? Look, Vonnie, it's peanut butter called the Bee's Knees. Can you see that, Vonnie? Okay. So I wanted to show you that. So that wasn't really a stash enhancement, but it was on my phone with my car, so I thought I'd just kill two birds with one stone.
You shouldn't kill birds.
I know. So that's...
All the birds back here are kind of upset by that.
Oh, they'll get over it. Okay.
You're telling your owls to get over it?
My owls know I won't kill them. Anyway, so that's my stash enhancement. I'm really happy with that. My husband might be getting a stash enhancement because his truck keeps doing things like that. He has great truck. It's the service station that's horrible. So we're kind of thinking about what to do about that. Let's see here. I did a lot of writing to the shared story. I did do a lot of writing. I think I did almost maybe 4,500, 5,000 square feet. Square words. Words to the shared story. I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm kind of afraid to give it to Talia because I think her time will be double mine because she hasn't much time. So I would like to get things moving forward, but it's been really hard to find time, either one of us. So reading a little bit, you know, that kind of stuff. But basically that's it for that. Do you have anything else?
I don't know why I'm looking at my pattern as if it's going to tell me if I have anything else. Just so you know, that information is not written in Oops the Bunny pattern.
Not that they knew what that was, but
okay. But no, there's nothing else.
I don't know what happened to my glasses. I didn't do the knitting ephemera last time.
The bunny took it.
Well, it's gonna be hard for me to read this, so I'm just gonna do a little bit here. What?
I can help.
I can do this one for now.
That one.
This is knitting ephemera.
Sometimes called the shepherd's dog, the Old English sheepdog. Sometimes called the shepherd's dog or the bob-tailed sheepdog, is a breed recognized by the American Kennel Club. It is believed the breed was developed in the early 1800s in England, probably bred from the Scottish bearded collie and Russian Autkar. The breed is large with a shaggy gray or white coat, long flat ears, and a furry face. Famous fictional Old English sheepdogs include Barkley from Sesame Street, Elwood, the Shaggy D.A., Tiger, the Patty Duke Show, Max, the Little Mermaid, and Edison, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh, was it Nana from?
I don't remember.
I guess she wasn't.
I don't know. She might have been.
No, she was a Saint Bernard.
Oh, okay.
I think
the one I usually think of is Max from Little Mermaid.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's that. Just a little fun thing. I would have done a little bit more, but it's getting a little long, and I also don't have my glasses. So we do want to thank our YouTube commenters, Fiber Hermit, Tabitha's Treasures, Sue, Rena, Brittany, Pat, and Kathy. And
I wish I could remember which one asked about the mugs.
I can't remember, but you see our mugs here. You asked for hers. This one is mine, which, you know, if DC is going to be represented, Marvel has to be represented. So
I think they're kind of neck and neck for me now.
Are they?
DC and Marvel.
They're kind of
have,
as well.
I still know DC better, and I only really have one character I consistently follow in Marvel, other than for movies. Daredevil's the only. Well, no, that's not even true. I read Heroes for Hire as well. So I'm picking up more Marvel ones. We are very superhero in the family. We all have, you know, our specific ones. Davina's is a Quicksilver, so you know, and that's about her only one. And Scarlet Witch, and right, and hers are
more Marvel
movie.
Yeah, hers are movie.
Yeah.
Yes, she doesn't read the comics.
No,
not those kind of comics anyway.
I need to actually count.
We will be podcasting next Saturday unless something happens. So we hope to see you here for the Fun in the Women Cave next Saturday. In the meantime, we'd like to thank you for visiting with us this week. And we will say so long. Adieu. I have to find what episode this is.
Yeah,
328. So we hope to see you back here next week for the Fun in the Woman Cave. We wish you a week full of every blessing a good thing. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 328, and that's a wrap.
Bye.